Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special episode of the podcast. Look behind you, or I guess some of you might listen to our podcast behind the podcast episode as well.
There was just Christmas candy here.
Wait, what?
The Christmas candy on the counter.
What does it have to do with anything about the intro?
Is there
I
more?
don't know. This just means there's Christmas candy. It means it's a workplace party.
Yeah, technically.
No,
Yeah.
that's not what that means.
If there's Christmas candy, it's a workplace party.
Okay, well, anyways, I am Sir Boom, your host, and I'm joined by Wolf,
Hello.
and I'm also joined by Ramen Cat.
Hello.
For some reason,
I had to. I'm sorry.
oh, Wolf, you're gonna kill me one of these days.
You know it.
All right. Well, anyways, how are you guys doing today?
Surprisingly, very, very well.
Yeah.
Eh? Eh? You could get me some candy.
All right. Note 1 for recording podcasts.
Shut all electronic devices down.
I'm glad it was your phone that did it and not mine.
Yeah.
I press the silent button and it goes to vibrate first.
Oh, that's great. That was too great.
Okay. We swear to everybody that's listening to this right now that we actually
Have a good podcast.
have a good podcast. If you listen to some of our previous episodes, you're probably wondering why the heck we're not like being all serious and stuff.
We couldn't agree on what to do.
No, I just didn't want to do anything.
Oh, yeah, that was the reason.
We talked about UFOs. Boom wanted to prove us wrong. Hopped in UFO, crashed. I was like, all right, I'm done.
And didn't take any photos.
I couldn't.
Why?
They wouldn't let me.
Who wouldn't?
The FBI.
And Jim.
By you. Okay.
But no, we're just talking today about random stuff. Kind of just doing like a Christmas review.
Yep.
Because this episode will actually be out after Christmas, so happy late Christmas.
Happy Christmas, Merry Christmas,
Happy holidays.
New Year's,
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else you do.
Okay, Hanukkah's Jewish. Kwanzaa is...
Supposed to be African.
Really?
As far as like what direct thing, I don't know what like it's from, but
I could get into that, but I won't.
Okay. Well,
I
anyways, I didn't know.
Anyways, Kwanzaa's around the same time, so.
Well, happy holidays, everybody. This is Look Behind You's Christmas review. That's what we're going to call it.
Christmas review. Oh no, workplace reviews.
Are we doing
Yeah,
like a
so you
meme
guys
review?
didn't... No, we're not doing a meme review.
Well, I want out. I want memes or
So-
death.
Just for people, there probably won't be any monsters, ghosts, or aliens tonight.
Yes, there will.
There will?
Yes, I got
Oh.
questions.
Oh.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
I do.
What?
Yes.
Well, if you got questions, I has answers.
Yes.
What's the meaning of 42?
Math, and it's terrible, and you should go.
42 is the answer of life and everything in it.
But the meaning of life is 42. Then
Yes.
what's the meaning of 42?
Life.
Okay.
I could ask another question about two numbers, but I won't.
What?
I knew.
Is it a 9 and a 6?
Yes.
What's the meaning of
You
96?
freaking 12-year-old. Anyways, yeah, so let's get started. How were you guys this week?
You asked that.
No, I said, how are you guys this week?
It's been
Wait,
Odd.
that was the same question.
Yes.
it's been good.
What
but
have
it's
you guys
odd.
been up to this week?
nothing.
Okay.
Kind of nothing, because at our job, my job pretty much was like frozen a block of ice because they couldn't get it fixed.
Oh, the computer
So I
system?
just kind of haunted the workplace.
Yeah, that was interesting. Did you do anything at home?
No.
No?
Because I've been out of power all week.
Oh, yeah. that
First,
makes
I
sense.
went 2 weeks without internet, got my internet back, And then as soon as I get my internet back, the power goes out because of a storm that blew through.
That's got to be fun.
Yeah, it kind of just started accepting that I lived in the Dark Ages. I started writing just like one of those giant memoir books like I used to in the 1800s.
Oh, while you're
Like,
still alive?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there by torchlight, like War and Peace, Book 2.
Book 2.
Oh, dang.
All right, well, I guess we can jump right into some of the questions.
Wait. How are you?
I'm okay. I have been really busy, yet not busy. Like, I feel like I've been doing stuff, but, like, now when I go to think back on what I was doing, it feels all very meaningless.
You mean the random projects where I had to bounce around at work and, like, do this?
Yeah, kind of like that. Like, I feel like I got stuff done, but, like, none of it actually went anywhere, which is
Sounds about
interesting.
I mean, the rocket at work is getting taller and ready for launch.
I already built that.
Yes, but now you need to forge the paneling.
What?
Yes.
I
And
wasn't.
find the plutonium.
I was not told you're supposed to put paneling on that.
Well, now I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
All right, questions. Fire away.
Question 1. We have had almost 20 episodes so far, right?
Yep.
Which episode? We'll start with Wolf because he looks the most excited to do this.
That is a
He's just jumping at his seat right now.
Explain that.
He's kind
Jumping
of
out of your seat, okay?
He's kind of just
give me a break.
flopped over
No.
the mic, like giving us a half-dead stare.
Yeah, kind of. So, we've had 19 episodes. This will be our 20th episode for the podcast. Wolf, what is
Yes.
your favorite episode so far?
I forget them. We've done so many.
Really?
Hey,
Really?
yeah, like I forget that we've done some already. Like I'm like, oh, we should do that. Then I remember, oh, we've already done that.
Why?
Why?
Why have we
Why?
already done it? Because it's our job.
Yes.
All right, well, in that case, I don't know how to make you answer this then.
I'm looking at the list of the episodes.
Okay.
I'm thinking 2x4 and some nails. We'll get the answers one way or another.
We'll try to anyways.
Okay, very quick sidetrack.
Yeah.
Sidetrack. I'm looking at my podcast app, which is Podcast Addict,
Yeah.
and I'm on our thing. The first episode. Guess what episode number it's labeled?
What?
5.
What? I fixed that.
Also, we have 2 episode 3s. Then it goes.
What?
Then episode 5 is episode 8, and then 6. What?
What?
Ah! Something's messed up here.
Wolf, remember, you can't read.
On the
Explain it.
podcast distribution site, I have it linked as episode 1 for episode 1.
Yeah, but some of them will actually label what number the episode is.
That ain't right.
Yeah.
Anyways, besides for the weird jumbled up mess,
Black Dogs.
that was your favorite one?
Yeah, I really like that one.
What'd you like about it?
Everything.
You have very broad answers.
Very cryptic.
Very cryptic answers.
straightforward
I
answers.
guess so.
That one, and then the origins of Bigfoot.
Origins of Bigfoot, huh?
Was that the name of that episode, right? The origins of Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like the old stories of Bigfoot.
Okay, that's cool. All right, so Wolf or not Wolf, Robin Cat. What is your favorite episode?
My favorite episode, I would say, is probably Dartmoor.
You like Dartmoor.
I liked it because for some reason it was out of all the topics, I actually had to pull myself away from it for research because I just kept reading and reading and reading.
That's cool.
And it's like it just put a marker on another place I hope to go to someday.
Yeah, nice. That's a good episode. My favorite episode so far has to be the John Titor episode.
Of course.
That one was really good. That was fun.
That
to
was
do.
fun.
I like that episode the most just because it was a fun it was really different compared to what we normally do.
Yeah.
So it was fun just kind of speculating and stuff. So
Oh, and we had guests.
yeah, it was really fun. We had guests and they were fun guests. I mean, I guess that's kind of a given considering one of them is on my other podcast. So
Yeah.
All right, let's lightning round 2.
lightning round 2 is a question of what do you guys think is the most popular episode out of all of ours so far?
Well, I know the answer.
Do you?
Yeah.
You really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
All right. Well, Ramen Cat, you can guess first.
Well, from the answers that you fed me,
What?
Yeah, you showed us these
John
analytics.
Titor, but I would also say second up to that is probably our very first episode because usually that's just the one people click on and then click off. They're like, ooh, I don't want to touch this.
I believe the first one had 27 the last time I knew. John Titor had 39, and then the second most popular was actually Shadow People, followed by Dartmoor.
So, you guys were correct about the most popular episode. John Titor is the most popular episode. You are quite wrong about how popular the episode is, though.
How popular did it get?
It has 160 plays, 67
Should
plays.
have known that because I looked at it at YouTube the other day. It had 100.
It has over 100.
Yeah.
So people really liked our time travel episode. So
Well, it's like one of the few handfuls of things about John Titor that honestly wasn't knocking it, wasn't trying to be super biased about it.
It was over 5 minutes long.
well,
Yeah,
aren't
so-
you humble?
No, you know what? This is the one time I get to brag about it because it was hard finding stuff.
It was
That's
hard.
more what I mean about it because, like, you look it up, it's a topic that it's just hard to find just a neutral thing about.
No,
it.
yeah, it really is. But no, that was a fun
That's
episode.
just kind of what I meant by that because
Yeah.
it was super hard, and honestly, if it wasn't for Pyrolis, we probably would have been missing a giant gap
Oh,
of
yeah, for
information.
What was our second most popular episode?
Our first one. Ramen Cat had it right.
Darn it, I thought that was like the fourth.
People touch it and it's like, I am done now.
Then what was the third most popular?
Third most popular is actually
Shadow People, right?
nope.
No?
Nope.
I thought that one was really popular.
Dolphins.
The Thunderbird.
Really?
Yeah.
That one was fun to do.
That surprises me.
That one was fun to do. I enjoyed doing a lot of the speculation on that one. But yeah, it goes John Titor, the Dogman, and then Thunderbird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's the runner up to those?
It would be a mix between Shadow People, Dartmoor, and
You guys need to give Dartmoor more love.
Yeah.
Those are nice people there.
Dartmoor and Shadow People. People seem to like those a lot.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you guys kind of figured that out really easily. I guess I've been keeping you up to date more on the podcast than I thought.
About
Yes.
every Tuesday, Saturday, and Friday.
I'm used to, like, with Baka Talk, they just don't really care about anything like that. They're just like, oh, we get to talk on a podcast. We're happy. And, like, they just don't care if I tell them anything. So I stopped telling them anything.
I need to know the numbers.
What do they mean, Wolf? What do they mean?
42.
Oh, dang. All right, so that was a couple of the questions. Next question. What is the one thing you guys want to talk about that we have not talked about yet?
Don't know yet. I kind of want to do Flatwoods Monster.
Yeah, I want to do
Flatwoods Monster?
Flatwoods Monster. I also want to do, we referenced it in the most recent episode, but the origin of the name for the UFO. Forget the dude's name. I also want to do more Bigfoot stuff.
But yeah, that's kind of a given though. We're going to be doing more Bigfoot stuff because that's kind of the long-term project.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to do more Bigfoot stuff.
Yeah, I love talking about
And
like
you
the
want to
different...
do UFOs.
Well, I want to.
No, we're not doing UFO Bigfoots.
We're going to have to eventually.
I know.
That's interesting.
There it is.
But I don't know, just a Flatwoods Monster is one that I have read about since I was little, and it's been one that I always thought was really cool. I also would like to do a lot more of like haunted cases, like places and stuff like that, and things like that.
Yeah.
It's just that's gonna require a little bit more digging than normal. So
Yeah, a lot more.
some super sleuthing.
Well, those seem a lot more speculative than a lot of things we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those seem like they're not as concrete as some of the other ones that we've tried doing before.
Yeah. But hey, that's half the fun of it.
Yeah.
Just we're gonna have to have a sniff out some stories.
I guess so.
Dig them up.
All right, well, cool. So those are the 2 episodes you guys want to do. I want to do more of the science supernatural
Okay.
stuff that supposedly has like a science explanation, but also seems to be like beyond even what our science can comprehend right now.
Okay.
So like one of them that I want to do is supposedly there's this frequency that will make people go insane.
Yep, you've talked about that a lot.
Yeah. A lot of people have domed it the sound of fear.
Okay.
But there's been a couple cases that have been linked to it where people, and it's weird too because it's not like it's generated in like a lab. It's just out in the wilderness. Like something about being out in the mountains or like in the woods, and the sound just generates. It just like makes people go insane to the point where they end up dying of like really stupid causes, like actually like being stupid out in the woods. Like walking in the middle of a blizzard with their clothes off type of stupid.
Yeah.
Or they end up like almost clawing their eyes out.
I'll tell you the sound of fear. The sound when you get the call and like your tax collector would like to talk to you.
Or what I learned the other day, like looking on your hospital app and realizing you have like over a $400 medical bill.
Yeah, that would too. Like, oh boy, what in the mail do I? Oh no.
I'm gonna move.
I'm
Change my
going
name.
out of the country now.
But yeah, that would be really interesting to do. I like stuff like that too because it is, like you said, it's a lot less speculative and it's more how do we break it down to make it make sense?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
how do we make it into science?
Yeah.
Because like in the 1600s, witches were considered black magic. In all actuality, some of them were just
Chemists.
doctors.
Yeah. Doctors and chemists who are just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this does, but we're gonna find out.
Right, exactly. So that's something I want to do. Let's see.
I did just think of one thing. I want to dig into it a little bit more before I ever bring it up for a topic, but I would like to talk about like legends of like ghouls and stuff. Mainly just because it's like not only does it have a long running thing way back in history, but also the fact of a lot of stories like come out from like the people who serve across seas and stuff.
That would be cool. I would like to talk about giants some more.
Yes.
Giants
Yep.
would be fun, like the giants in Afghanistan and stuff
The
like that.
Kadar giant
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, I would love to talk about stuff like that because it seems like now as things are not easing there, but like a lot of people are coming home, a lot of bizarre stories are coming from
Right, yeah.
there.
That would be fun. I guess this goes to our audience listeners now. What do you want us to talk about?
Yes,
like-
please tell us.
It'd be great to know. You can tell us either through Twitter or you can tell us through... What else is there?
I don't know.
Twitter.
Twitter?
You can
Wasn't there
email
a
us.
Facebook page?
There's a Facebook page, but that was just a thing. Like people just had to send a thing to let us know if they wanted to join,
Oh, okay.
and it just, I don't know.
It never happened?
Never. I think we have one member, a friend of ours.
Oh, really? He actually joined?
Yeah.
Okay, that actually makes me feel like I need to post it. You can also send us an email at behindyoucast@gmail.com.
Okay.
I've never told anybody the podcast email before. I don't know why I haven't. That's a good way for people to contact us.
Yeah.
I feel like people probably contact us more through that than anything.
Yeah, why have I never done... Wow, I feel like a complete idiot now. I'm 20 episodes in and...
It's just one of those things. It's like nowadays, where it used to be you used email for everything. Nowadays, a lot of people don't do it.
Yeah. So yeah, that is again behindyoucast, all one word, @gmail.com, all lowercase. And yeah, you can just send us story links if you have anything, or just even personal stories. That'd be great to do too. Like go over people's personal stories.
That would be. I would really love to go over just like collective stories on related things.
Yeah. Just a warning to people: if you're listening to this and you send in a personal story, if it gets graphic or if you add swearing and stuff, I will edit that out when we do the story.
Yes.
But yes. All right. Well, that's about it for those questions. Next up would be, how do you guys think the year went? Anything that you think we need to improve on?
For us,
Yeah.
I honestly don't know. I can't say so or not.
I would like to. I think we've improved quite a bit from when we started our early episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those
definitely.
early episodes are rough.
I would like to. This is just kind of a personal thing. I would like to be able to refine and condense more of my information gathering to where I don't know. I can keep it where it's like I have enough stuff to present like all the facts or stories or details of something without making it too wordy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's one of those things. It's
Kind of how to articulate things better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's something that we could all work on.
Definitely.
My big thing is, and the whole reason I kind of, not the whole reason, but part of the reason I'm using podcasting is to talk better.
Okay.
Kind of, because I'm one of those people that talk very much in slang. So I slur my words a lot, especially for a Michigan accent.
Yeah. Here in Michigan, it's like we have a lack of an accent, but substitute that with words we just pull out of thin air.
When words we pull out of thin air, and then sometimes we just don't bother to finish a word.
Yeah. Or leave a sentence off and just expect the next person to know
Yeah.
exactly what's...
When you just like say the first part of a sentence, and then you look at the other guy, and then he just automatically knows what you're talking about.
See, I get in trouble a lot with like my family and stuff for doing it because I'm so used to doing that with people out when I'm working or
Yeah.
in town and stuff. And my parents are very much, they'll start a sentence and finish a sentence.
Yep.
But I'm just like autopilot. Let me finish that for you.
I do that all the time.
I mean, it's like, it's something I don't mean to do. It's just habit.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that's one thing I want to improve on is, and that's kind of like my New Year's resolution, is just focusing on that. So
Yeah, that's a good goal.
first thing is I need to stop ending my sentences with so.
So
Anyways. But yeah.
That's like when someone's trying to teach me something. I have this bad habit of I'm basically re-asking the question to confirm it in my head.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it as if I know it because what I want the person to do is pick apart what is wrong in that thing, but yet they take it as you're being a know-it-all.
Right.
It's like, no, this is not how it's supposed to work.
All right. Well, you never really added anything, Wolf. You got anything?
I honestly, like I said, I don't really know because this is all really new to like actually doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. This is your first podcast, so.
So yeah, I don't really know. I'm just riding the wave.
I think he wants to just hunt cryptids.
Yes.
All right. So next thing is I kind of have a couple reviews
Okay.
that we've gotten through the last couple of years. So not
A couple of years. Whoa.
Wait,
Time
A
paradox.
couple of months. We haven't even gone through a whole year.
we
of
have more
podcasting,
than
so.
one
Yeah,
now.
because we started in springtime, early summer.
Late winter.
Yeah, like in March.
Was it late winter?
Yeah.
See, I pretty much have blocked out most of last year and most of this year.
It kind of feels like a 2020 all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry for the whispers or the whooshes. That's my pop.
It's just the angry spirits that live in Boom's lair.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know I was haunted.
Yes. Every time Wolf and I show up here, just a bunch of random crap follows us.
Well, yeah. I mean, besides for that.
Yeah.
You really need to just stop summoning us and just let us walk over.
That's true. Anyways,
To Google.
to Google.
All right, you got any other questions for us, Boom?
No, not really.
No?
Well,
It's
goodbye.
about break time.
No.
Ad time, anyways. So we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and actually talk about some random stuff.
Okay. I mean, we're already being random.
Well, kind of.
I mean, we're just as us normal.
I kind of got you on this very narrow path, and if you fall off either way, it just kind of goes into utter chaos. So,
Can we?
we will find out after ad time.
Okay.
Ad time.
It's going to be a lot of screaming and fire.
Good thing you can't see the fire.
Oh.
So we'll catch you all on the other side.
See you.
Bye.
Hello. We're back. Someone else was supposed to say something. Oh yeah, I murdered them. So now they're not gonna talk. Huh. So I don't know who to talk to.
Get away from that mic. We're back. He was chewing on the cords again.
He was.
Not.
Not. I had to get a spray bottle.
Not.
I'll do you one better.
What?
Why?
Who?
Maybe. I don't know.
Anyways, we're back. And
Boom looks disappointed as ever.
that's just my life. A big disappointment.
Nonsense. I would say tonight has gone quite smashing.
I hope so.
What kind of smashing? Like we're breaking things or it's going good?
Yes?
All of the
Either
above.
way is a good day in my book.
Okay.
So, we're done with the professional part of the podcast.
That wasn't professional.
Shut up. I tried, okay?
You tried. I didn't.
We're jumping into our next part of our podcast where it's going to be more free for all, and we're just going to kind of talk about
Random stuff.
what we like to do when we're not looking up cryptids or monsters or UFOs.
Like play Minecraft.
Yes, like play Minecraft.
Well, what about if you're just not looking up cryptids and stuff, if you just be the cryptid?
That's called me on Wednesdays.
You on Wednesdays.
What do you do on Wednesdays?
Well, I walk on two legs through the forest.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. Hope I don't get shot.
Well, around here, that's quite a feat, so...
Oh, well, where'd that popping song come from?
That's Ramen Cat's can.
Get a cup.
Oh, okay, that was great. Oh, so, Wolf,
I told you what I do.
Ramen Cat.
Besides terrorize you on a daily basis and make your life miserable.
What do you do for fun then?
Make your life miserable.
Oh, okay. Fine, I'll start with myself. Where do I start?
We're not supposed
Well,
to start.
I can tell you right now, you spend most of your time entertaining me.
You
That is
actually
true.
spend most of your time doing podcast relating stuff when you're not working
That is true.
or recording.
I probably do podcasting stuff for 20 hours a week ish. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's how you do it.
Excuse me.
Really?
I'm so sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry.
I told you not to eat that cord.
It was the Doritos.
I can't even edit that one.
I'm sorry.
Freeform.
I try to be very, very far away from the mic.
So you burped even louder than you normally do.
It just happened.
And some say to this day you can still hear it reverberate off the mountaintops.
It probably made
like
somebody's
home.
ears bleed.
I hope not.
I'm sure other podcasts have had this happen too.
Yes.
I've heard it.
Fun fact, I found out from multiple surveys and people talking about it on Twitter and other sites, the average podcast, if they record, they're drunk.
Well, the thing is, when I get drunk, I
We're
get sleepy.
doing this wrong.
That's what I was thinking.
I have another year.
Well, what? Me and Ramen Cat tried drinking once during a podcast,
Yep.
and we maybe made it until the end of like a podcast behind the podcast episode.
I don't know. I went through whatever one it was, just deadpan face serious the whole time, and you guys like smile.
Yeah.
What episode was that?
It was, I don't even know. We hit it pretty well, but we were drunk.
Was it the Black Dog?
Might have been.
No,
No.
this was.
No, because the Black Dog was when we were still in the garage.
Oh, yeah. I forgot we switched locations.
Yes.
So this would have been,
I think it was one of the Bigfoot one.
I think it was the first Bigfoot one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were drunk.
No wonder you guys were hating on the people in the stories.
They're still mean. I'm sober right now, and I still agree with what I said back then.
Me too.
I won't argue.
That wasn't the alcohol talking. That was just sheer blind anger at the fact that.
No, that wasn't the Bigfoot
Let's
one.
shoot.
It couldn't have.
Was
Yeah.
it werewolves?
No.
No.
Because that was also in the garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember when we recorded in there? It was cold.
Really cold. It like
Your house is cold.
yeah.
I had to turn off the heat. It's at least 50 degrees in here. In the garage, it
Nonsense.
was 30.
Folks would love to hear the blare of metallic vents reverberating in your ceiling.
better.
Thank you for giving me the hand signal.
That wasn't a hand
You know,
signal.
last time I ever gave you the hand signal, of just like, don't mind me, I'm over here dying. You're just like, pause.
Because you were dying.
Wolf looks concerned.
He does look concerned.
I'm having grapefruit pop, and it kind of makes me burpy.
Jarritos are great.
Yes, yes, they are.
I hope we're saying that right.
I'm just going off what a coworker told me. He's been drinking that most of his life. So.
That's true.
Oh,
If I'm mispronouncing it, it's because of him. So
And
yeah,
he is Mexican.
he is.
So we still get a pass.
We do.
Because if he's saying it wrong, I don't know. The
I mean-
world's weird.
I mean, he was explaining something to me one day because I asked him like something to do with like different languages and stuff, and he said something like, "I gotta check on that real quick to see if I'm saying it right."
I mean, I've always said on the podcast, if I say a name or a place or even just a word wrong in a different language, just yell at me for it and just tell me what the proper way is, because I'd rather learn it than people just be mad at me.
Yeah, that's always more fun to learn than to be yelled at, or to be yelled at and learn.
Yeah.
That works too.
What was that look for? You look like you just seen a ghost.
people listening to this won't understand this, but bomb.
What? Oh,
There's a bomb book on the wall.
That's-
Bookshelf.
the book. That's a book I collected a long time ago about the nuclear bomb.
Yep. I just saw that and thought,
He went
bomb.
pug-eyed buggy.
He did. I literally thought he saw a ghost.
I haven't seen one of those yet. I think.
Yet.
Yet it's on his to-do list.
It is. Also, like boxing a demon is.
You could box Ramen Cat.
But he's not a demon.
He could tell you otherwise, but
But it doesn't make it true.
Doesn't mean that you aren't just a Sharpay either.
all right, quick fire round.
We already did this.
No, we're doing it differently now.
Quick fire round 2.
Ramen Cat, favorite video game.
Favorite video game? Doom.
Oh no.
Original.
Wolf, favorite video game.
Dark Souls 3 or Minecraft?
Okay, what video game
Soon to
have
be
you
Elden
most
Ring.
recently played? Ramen Cat, go.
Most recently played Borderlands 3.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Are you gonna continue playing it?
I'm gonna play it as soon as we're done here. Well, after I leave here.
Oh, okay. Wolf,
Does phone games count? Because
Yes.
if it does, I don't. Oh, okay. So it was Mobile Legends.
Mobile Legends.
Yep.
Do you like the game?
It's a fun MOBA for phones.
Okay, are you gonna continue playing it?
Off and on, yes.
Okay.
But actual game, Minecraft, I just got done playing.
How about you?
Favorite video game?
Beat Saber.
Yes.
I knew it.
Game I most recently played? Beat Saber.
And are you going to continue to play Beat Saber?
Yes, until my arms fall off.
I mean, I walked in here one day and you looked like a crab from a Crab Rave song. Just a do 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 do.
I was playing the Crab Rave song. It's the only video game I can play where I feel like I'm making my life better in the process.
Play the Minecraft Education Edition.
No!
There's this.
I already know how to build.
That is true.
It would probably make me more upset playing it because it'll be like, put this structure here. No.
It also teaches you how to code.
Oh, right. Yes, it's coding, not building.
It's the Education Edition. It teaches you from like physics to chemistry to coding to math
That's cool.
to...
That is cool.
Yeah.
Was that the thing that they used during lockdown? Because I've heard that there were schools and stuff that were using Minecraft to do schooling.
I think you might have been hearing about the graduation
That was in Minecraft.
that took place in Minecraft.
They also had like classes and stuff. with
That's
certain
actually been going
places.
on for a long time.
Has it?
Certain schools have actually used the Minecraft Education Edition to teach.
See, that's cool because it also makes it fun.
Yeah.
And it's like that. I would have liked that in school.
Well, it's kind of like the language learning app I'm using. Mm-hmm. They make it into games. Duolingo. So
See.
it makes it really easy to keep on doing it because it doesn't get boring.
Yeah, see, I remember the days of quote-unquote education games like Miss Hewitt Packer's typing course.
Hey, Type of the Dead is a great game.
See, I would have liked something like that. Not just some lady yelling at me on a computer with 90s graphics telling me I'm hitting the wrong key. Or somehow she knew that my fingers were at the wrong spot on the keyboard.
That is weird. How?
I think because it just goes off like your keystrokes.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, that program
Can
was
you
so
now
old.
type without looking?
Yes. I don't type the way technically you're supposed to, but I can type pretty fast.
I've almost unlocked that ability, but I'm not leveled up yet enough.
Me and one coworker like never realized we both type the same way, where it's like it's not the proper way. We were just type.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of use like my two, like, what are these fingers called? The claw fingers?
Your
T-Rex
index
fingers.
and middle finger.
Yes, those
Your
fingers.
T-Rex fingers.
My T-Rex fingers. My quotation fingers.
The quotation. Why'd you say that in quotations?
Because I was quoting it.
Plus, it's super hard to quote things on a podcast when you go to do the quotation marks, then you realize they can't see. I've done that about 20, 30 times.
Yeah, I watch you do it. And I just like mentally face palm.
That's like me sitting here nodding an acknowledgement to what you're saying. I'm like, they can't see this.
And then I realized I've been talking to you two, and you've just been nodding to me for the past 30 minutes.
We're listening.
Yeah.
Like you were in a conversation.
Because I try not to like just interject with like yeah and stuff anymore because I used to do it all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, that. And I'm recently trying to break that habit, but then I realized I'm on a podcast. That's what you have to do.
Well, yeah, there's a difference between. It's also the rate of how far you do it, how many times you do it.
Yeah.
But it's also. It helps make sure that they know that you're there.
But what if you
Yes,
want,
you can say yes.
what if
I'm
you,
so confused.
What if you want to be the ghost in the audio?
The ghost in the machine.
Yes.
The. Why can't I think of the
Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell? I was thinking of the anime.
Keep your
my
weed
wee
speak to
brain
your
broke
other
down.
podcasts.
I don't know. There's some anime that has some good cryptid stuff in it.
I have yet to find anything with cryptid stuff in it.
Mushishi has more spirit stuff, but a lot of those can be technically considered cryptid.
I guess. Okay, yeah, Mushishi.
Yeah.
But that show is very
Mellow. So, boom. You got any more lightning questions for us?
Go
Sure.
faster.
Go faster?
Faster.
Let's see. I can't go that fast. I start stuttering.
On cue.
Wolf.
Yes.
Favorite horror movie.
I skip.
Favorite horror movie.
Evil Dead 2.
Wow. Okay.
I haven't seen enough, so I can't answer.
Okay. Ramen Cat. Favorite movie.
Favorite movie? Big Trouble in Little China.
Why?
Because it is just adventure, it's hokey, and there's a lot of action, and then there's some really cool looking monsters, and there's kung fu. And there's an adventure into a buried ancient palace and ruins underground.
Dang. That's a lot.
It's like Mortal Kombat.
That's sweet.
Yes.
Wolf.
Yes.
Favorite movie.
The Man Who Killed Bigfoot and Then Hitler.
Wasn't it the man who killed Hitler then Bigfoot?
Yes, I said it backwards.
That's the way he did it.
Yes.
That is a really good movie.
It is.
I mean, when I watched it, I thought it would be a lot more hokey.
That's what it seems like going
it
into
seems
it.
like it'd be like along the lines of those like Abraham Lincoln zombie killer movies, but it's not.
It's
like
super serious.
it's a play on a man that has to live with the guilt of killing the most evil man in history.
I don't. Okay, so I only watched halfway through. I didn't get to the Bigfoot part of it, but from what I had
Did you
seen
get to the
of it,
part where he actually killed Hitler?
I believe so. I got to the part where he's talking to his little brother
So-
in the shop.
Okay, so yeah,
But
that was before he
It
killed
didn't seem
Hitler.
so much like guilt as so much as the fact of he knew what was really going on in the world and
Yeah.
he couldn't tell anybody about
Well,
it.
it was a couple things because he actually didn't kill the original Hitler. He killed the third Hitler.
Also, before going on,
right.
spoiler alerts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
ve-
guess.
yeah. It's not that big of a spoiler, but yeah, going on spoiler alert because I am
In
gonna
this
talk
movie,
a
it
lot.
goes on the premise where Hitler actually dies, the original Hitler,
Yeah,
but the Nazi party keeps on putting in a new Hitler.
Yeah.
Basically, like
It's
a
a title.
not only is it a title, but they pick a person that looks just like him
to become the new Hitler.
to become the new Hitler, so that way they can keep on waging war, because Hitler no longer is a person but an ideology.
Yeah.
Okay.
And on top of that, the main character never actually wanted to go to war or kill anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
But for some reason, he was chosen and he was just really good, and he was chosen for the task of assassinating Hitler.
Yep.
But he knew it wasn't an actual Hitler; it was just a person
Yeah.
being Hitler.
Wasn't
So
it kinda
like
some, basically like a thing foretold by that guy that he met that gave him like the shave. And
The
everything?
Russian man.
what was
it
the whole
wasn't-
thing with that?
Well, wasn't it like he kind of basically got like a fortune told from him of that or something?
Not-
In a really vague sense.
That was more of he had to go to him to actually get behind enemy lines into Germany, and it was kind of more like a fortune type telling thing to see if he was going to be successful on his journey.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And if he would get cut while being shaved, that would mean he would succeed. But if he got cut on purpose while someone was shaving him, he would succeed, but with great, what is it? He'd basically be cursed.
He'd have hardships ahead.
Yeah. Which is really cool because that scene gets really intense for just being someone getting a shave.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it too, from what I had watched too, is like because it bounces back and forth between
Yeah.
him in the war and him now when he's an old man.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's one of those movies too where it's you take a person and like a lot of elderly people, you've pulled them out of their world that they knew, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Because there's like the scene where he's getting mugged, and it's like you people no respect for your elders,
Right.
Before he beats the crap out of
That
all
scene
of
was
them.
awesome.
But you know, it's one of those movies like that, or like movies like Secondhand Lions, where it's like they feel like they have no
that was
worth
the name
in,
of the
in a
movie.
sense.
Yeah.
But yet they, you know, they do. They just have to refine purpose and.
Yeah.
What was that?
That was the name of the movie. You were asking a couple weeks ago what was the movie with the two old people with the tiger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Secondhand Lions.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I forget
movie.
how the tiger ends up. Oh,
They get their nephew.
Yeah.
Their nephew gets dropped off to them. At first, they don't. They're grumpy and mean towards him.
don't
Watch
they?
that
Oh,
movie.
they get a wrong package.
No, they start ordering exotic animals because they are really super rich. Their nephew finds out that they have this money. It's like, hey, you guys can do stuff with
Yeah.
this. And they're like, what? We can?
Yeah. Because they thought it was just worthless, basically.
Yeah. And so one day they get the bright idea. It's like, oh, we want to do a safari.
Oh, yeah.
And they order this lion.
And they set it off in the field.
Yeah, it's just an old lion who's like from an old circus
Yeah,
or
but
something.
yeah, they thought it was a wild lion, but it was just a circus lion.
Yeah.
And then they feel bad and they just don't like go on into the safari and it just becomes a pet.
Basically, it was just, oh, she's one of us.
Yeah,
And,
that movie was
The
awesome.
nephew, you know.
We need to rewatch
Friends
that
of the
movie.
Yeah, we definitely do.
I watched it not too long ago, and honestly, like, I've loved it since I've seen it, because it's just one of those small place, really awesome story. Like,
Yeah.
I love stuff like that. But as I get older, I appreciate more and more things that I see about that. And
Yeah.
Just like, there's a lot of things in that movie where it's like, you know, if you're old, kind of look to things and appreciate things and be willing to pass on things like your stories, what you know,
Yep.
your experiences. And as a younger person, be willing to listen to those things because those stories and experience, you know, kind of push you into the future of making you who you are. And it's like at the end, you know, the nephew, when he's all grown up, he's a successful comic artist and
Right.
stuff because of his experiences and his uncle's stories.
Right, and he's like drawing.
He's making their adventures as a
Yeah,
comic strip.
that's cool.
Yeah.
And he befriends one of the people who was actually the grandson of one of their rivals, basically,
Yes,
when they were
yeah.
young, because they were actually adventurers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's such a good movie. That's a good adventure movie.
It is. It is such a great movie. I love it.
It's also
so
like a
much.
really good like coming of age movie too.
Yeah. Yep.
Because like the kids coming of age, but then the old men are kind of passing on the torch in a way.
Kind of, because part of it too is the fact of their nephew ends up there because their mom is with this really, like I think she gets married to, or she's going out with this really trashy guy.
Yeah.
And it's happened a lot in those days where family member would dump off their kid on another family member because they didn't want to deal with them.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the uncles are just, they're grumpy and standoffish too because people know they have money. So like their relatives keep coming to try, oh, you should sell this place
Yep.
and you should do this with this. And
Kind of like the Beverly Hillbilly thing.
kind of, and it's just made them really defensive. Like they think
Oh
all
yeah,
people
there's that
want.
whole scene where like the whole big family of their like relatives come in and like try to like push their way into the house,
Yeah,
and the two guys just like having none of it.
yeah. And it's like,
The tiger actually shows up. That's what happens. The tiger shows up.
Yeah, it was
like,
near the end.
she's just there because she wants food.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like at the very, very end, the husband or boyfriend of the mom, you know, starts beating up on the nephew, and the lion goes and saves him because she's kind of taken the nephew on. It's
Yeah.
her. That's her person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's very much like you said. It's a coming of age movie. It's a Twilight of life movie, and it's
Great watch.
just a great watch. It's a heartwarming movie. Like it's genuine in its feeling. It's not forced or anything like that.
Right. Yeah.
Apparently, this is a movie review podcast
Guess
now.
so. I think my favorite movie. I've been thinking about this since we started talking about it too, because I wasn't quite sure myself.
I wasn't either, but I always try to think
Yeah.
what my favorite movie is, and I'm like, oh yeah, I watched The Man Who Killed Hitler
Yeah.
and then Bigfoot. I'm like, that movie's just so good.
Yeah, and for me, I'm just kind of going off from the movie that I've watch the most over and over because
Yeah.
I'm very much, if I like a movie, I don't have one that's a favorite over another. They're all my favorites. Like, they go on an archive, basically, of, like, I love all these.
Yeah.
I really don't watch movies over and over again. I'm normally a one-time and done.
It depends on the movie for me.
I kind of consider like my favorite movie what has like affected me the most recently, and that would actually recently would have to be a movie called A Silent Voice.
I knew you were going to say that as soon as the way you were building that up.
But no, that's a really cool movie. You guys obviously haven't seen it, but it's an anime movie, so
I have almost watched it multiple times, and that's like, I have had really weird experiences with anime movies of like I'm enjoying them and all of a sudden they just like spin into a swirl of chaos and I have no idea what's going on.
this one does not.
There's also Studio Ghibli movies. Just
Studio
cry.
Ghibli movies are good. I haven't seen much of them, but
They're good.
I need to watch a couple of them because some stuff in Dark Souls is based off of
yeah.
some of those movies.
Okay.
But Silent Voice basically is about a kid, a guy, that the movie starts off with him actually going to commit suicide.
Okay.
Because what happened is he used to be like the popular kid, like the kid that everybody kind of liked and hung around when he was young. But then he started picking on this girl that was deaf.
Okay.
And at first, he started doing it because he thought everybody else found it funny. But then he started getting jealous because this girl was getting a bunch of attention from other people and stuff like that. And it got to the point where people started picking on him, where like the tables kind of turned because like he was being mean to the deaf girl.
Yeah.
Well, what happened is it kind of went so far to where he pulled out her hearing aids, and it actually hurt her because like the hearing aids were actually like
The
Implants?
implant ones.
not fully implanted, but they're meant to like stay in. They weren't meant to come out, so
Yeah.
it hurt her. She had to go to a different school, and after that, he just kind of got bullied as much as like he bullied her.
Okay.
So, and of course, it's a Japanese set film. So after a reputation like that, your life kind of gets ruined because
it
the way
follows
Japanese
you.
culture is. So he ends up getting a job, but like he can't live down like the embarrassment of like what he did in the past. So he's about to kill himself. But then, as he goes to jump off the bridge, he's gonna kill himself with, he actually sees the girl kind of walking like off in the distance. And then thinks back to himself that, well, he can fix his problems that he has by trying to talk to her. So it kind of goes into this big long thing about how he tries to redeem himself through kind of making friends with her again and kind of like trying to learn from his mistakes, because he never realized like how much of an arrogant jerk he was being and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
He was somebody who wanted to make reparations basically for what he did.
yes, and it goes into like him trying to figure out how to be a better person. Also, the bullying that he kind of went into kind of made it where he was actually afraid to talk to other people after that. He got into a kind of like his own personal bubble. And it's really cool because, of course, anime, they have really good art style. So they kind of represent that by every single person he goes to talk to has an X on their face,
Okay.
where he actually can't look at people in the eyes. So like he's always looking down, and if somebody talks to him, he doesn't like look at them in the face because he feels like he's not worth being talked to, and he's not worth actually connecting with that person.
Yeah.
But each time he kind of learns to be a better person, and like the deaf girl is actually helping him to be a better person. Like if he connects with somebody, the X kind of falls off their face.
Oh. Okay.
So like it's a really cool representation of like mental like change and kind of like mental trauma, because like they both deal with trauma and like they both figure out how to basically regain a relationship. So it's a really cool movie. It's a lot deeper than a lot of movies
It
usually
sounds
are.
really good.
But
Like I said, I do want to watch it. It's one of those ones I just haven't yet.
yeah.
Because my list of anything anime related is like a mile long.
But if you really want a really good dumbed down movie, watch the movie Serenity.
Serenity?
Serenity.
What's that about?
It is the ending movie to the TV show called Firefly.
Okay. I thought Firefly just got canceled.
It did, but then they made a movie
To wrap it up.
to wrap it up.
Huh.
Then there's comic books after the
I've
movie.
never
Yeah.
seen Firefly, so.
Firefly is a super good
It is
sci-fi movie or sci-fi show, and then the movie itself is almost standalone, good enough to be a movie all by itself.
Okay.
You'll not understand a little one of the characters too well, but yeah, you'll be able to piece the things together.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. See, like, I like deep movies. Like, I like a lot of them. Like I said, like, Secondhand Lions is kind of, in that sense, it's very much the story of life.
Mm-hmm.
Dumbed down movie. I guess I really shouldn't even call them dumbed down movies, but just fun movies in that sense. I look at those more in the art aspect of just like, how did they do this?
Yes.
You know, what did they do to get this stuff to work the way they did? You
Yeah.
know,
That's
whether-
why I enjoy Marvel movies so much, because I enjoy the way they did the character development and like the way they did the visual effects.
Yeah, yep. And it's like, you just kind of, it's like, okay, story's not great, but look at all this cool stuff that they
Yeah.
did. There's a lot of hard work that
Yeah.
goes into it.
I mean, the Marvel story is pretty good, but I do consider the Marvel series kind of like that dumbed down movie.
Yeah, there's just not, I mean, you have kind of a theme plot, but punch guy in face usually takes plot over.
Yes. Yep.
Which, nothing wrong with that. I mean,
No.
there's times for a really deep movie, times for really just fun, lay
Yep, for
back,
sure.
sit back and relax movie.
All right. Well,
Any other lightning questions for us?
not really.
Oh, come on, you gotta have something in there.
You got one for us?
No, not really.
Oh. Here's one. We've done video game. We've done book.
No, we haven't done book.
Dang it, my mind betrayed me. I meant to say we did video game, we did movie, and now we should do book.
Okay.
But surprise, we're doing book. What's
Oh,
your
okay.
favorite book, Ramen Cat?
Favorite book? Probably I don't know how well known this book is. It was a passed down folklore story that a lady wrote when she came to America from Japan, but it's called White Serpent Castle.
Wow.
It's a story of two Ronin who show up at this feudal lord's castle, and it's this castle. So this I don't know what you call him. We'll call him a lord, but he's a
Yeah.
kid. His father died, and the advisor and the general of the castle are trying to take control of it. And at first you think that they're working together. Well, they end up like they're actually plotting against each other.
Okay.
And the Ronin go there too. Like, all right, so we're gonna see whose lot we should cast in with, and we'll decide who we're gonna fight for.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they end up helping the kid who's the rightful heir to the castle, and a bunch of plot twists happen, and it's a really good book, and just I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
I've read through it probably about 3 times,
Yeah.
which is a lot for a book. I guess second up would be Don Quixote, because I read it for school, and then I was like, I missed a lot here, I better go back. That's just kind of hard to read because of the way it's written.
Yeah. All right, Wolf. I know you're not a huge book reader, but
Does comic books count?
yes, comic books would count. What's your favorite comic book?
Trying to think. Why don't you go and I'll get back with you.
Okay. My favorite book is actually a book called World War Z.
Okay.
And the reason is I've always been a zombie fan. But usually zombies are more pertained towards movies, where they're just kind of like that big horde of undead, gross-looking things that eat people.
Yeah.
Well, in World War Z, it takes more of like a worldwide approach to. And oh, by the way, the book has nothing compared to the movie. The movie's horrible. But the book, it has, if I remember, it has like 8 or so different viewpoints.
Okay.
So one of them is like a family that is being held up in a church at the beginning of the war, and then all the way down to like this military general and this like kind of director of like disease control I think it's a military general, but it could be a director of disease control. Anyways, it's a guy making a report on the final stages of the war.
Okay.
So the way World War Z works is they break it down to where you have the classic outbreak thing where it's chaos and stuff like that. But then people realize it's like, oh, it's an enemy and we have to reunite to like fight the enemy. But it's interesting how they kind of like, they talk about how like the military has to change their fighting style to fight the zombies, and they have to change their weaponry, their gear and stuff. They have to change even like their army formations when they're going into cities and stuff like that to fight the zombies. And then they change how like people are migrating. Like people actually migrate like up north in the winter because the zombies get slow and they actually hibernate. And then they'll come back down and stuff like that to like fight the zombies. And like it even has this one aspect where this one guy is up in the United Nations, not the United Nations. What's the space station?
International Space Station.
Yeah. The International Space Station. There's one guy up there because everybody else died up there somehow. They either tried escaping to like survive, but there's this one guy up there and he's just watching like the whole Earth kind of fall apart and then kind of slowly rebuild, and just waiting for them to have enough capability to send a rocket back up there to get them.
I mean, if something like that was going like, I got it pretty good up here. I got food.
Well, the whole thing is like he's running out of food because this is like multiple years. This is almost like 10 years worth of stuff happening.
Okay.
So, and like he's also like linked into like the radio communications and stuff. So like he's hearing about all this happening. He's hearing about different like outposts and stuff getting overrun, but then also fighting back against the zombies.
Yeah, like it's actually like a war rather than just zombies are here. Oh, everyone lost.
Yeah, so like a lot of people they like in World War Z, the movie, it feels much more apocalyptic.
Yeah.
Where in World War Z, the book, yes, it's apocalyptic, but you can see an outcome. You can see that if the humans do it right, they can win.
Pretty much like I think it would be like with real life if something like that happened. We wouldn't just be like, everyone panic and that's all we're
right. Like
do.
There was panic in the beginning where people were freaking out. Like one of the first stories is where this family gets stuck in a church.
Yep.
And like it's really like a heartfelt story too, because like the parents end up dying, but then like there's this really big lady. She's like almost like muscle builder type lady, and she kind of like takes the two kids underneath her care, but then like she ends up dying by literally holding the doors closed for like the kids to like run away and stuff in the church. And like you hear that, and then it switches over to like another scene where like this squadron of army soldiers is tasked with like clearing street by street of like New Jersey and stuff like that. So
basically carving a new path so people could
literally carving new paths, and then they'll clear out an area and then they'll barricade it, and then they'll say this zone is cleared, but then everything else is still quarantined.
Okay.
So it's really interesting. I really like the book. So
yeah, actually, that kind of makes me want to read it because that sounds really interesting.
And the way they break it up is it's easy to digest because it almost feels like a bunch of short stories in a way.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah. All right, Wolf.
I don't got one.
You don't got one?
No. I guess I just haven't read enough.
I don't know. You've been going on about this Transformers series for a while.
I've only got through the first collection. So I can't say yet. There's 12 in the first phase.
What about the that one Batman series you were reading?
Batman Black and White?
Yeah, there was that one, and then the other one they were reading. With the,
Did you read Hush?
Yeah, I did read Hush. Well, no, I haven't finished reading Hush yet.
Okay.
I watched the movie Hush.
The movie Hush was good.
I think I've heard that the ending's different in the movie compared to the comic.
Is it? I could see that.
Like, I think it's actually a different villain.
Who's the villain in the comic book?
Spoiler alert. It's, the Riddler.
Spoiler alert, that's who it is in the movie.
Huh. I was just going to go off the conversation we had.
No, that's who it is in the movies, what I was saying.
No, I asked for the comic book.
Well, I haven't finished the comic book.
Oh.
That's what I
See,
said.
I thought we were just going to go off that conversation we had last night with our friends where it's like, they always use Kingpin.
They do.
I found something out.
That makes me
interesting
really
about
not want to
Kingpin.
watch Hawkeye.
Yeah, because Kingpin, I feel like, should be exclusive to Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe Punisher.
Maybe Punisher. Like, those three
No,
together.
not Punisher. Because Punisher would just kill him.
He has a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But he's always been, it's like he's that crime aspect in the Spider-Man comics because he's not a super villain.
Yeah.
He's been just an arch enemy in Daredevil because Daredevil skirts that line between criminals and super villains.
Right.
And then Punisher's just running gun justice.
Kill everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But yeah, I would have to say my favorite comic book that I've read so far would have been one of the Batman black and white ones.
What about the Metal series?
I haven't started reading the DC Metal.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
No, because
You've read Batman Who Laughs?
I actually haven't finished that.
Really?
I only got to about 3/3 of the way through.
Okay.
That's right. 'Cause I think when you
3/4.
started, they hadn't finished it yet, did they?
No, it kind of picks up in the middle of the storyline.
Oh, okay.
Because that's actually cross DC event.
Okay.
Because you have the Inf Metal, which is what Hot Girl uses for like the mace and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's their race's metal, but there's actually a lot more different metals.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the name DC Metal.
Okay, so it's basically about all these basically fight battles for this stuff, I'm guessing.
And then it leads into, they add the Dark Multiverse, which you can picture the Dark Multiverse is everything that goes wrong goes wrong. Everything that could go wrong does go wrong.
Okay.
So all the worlds are just dying.
Or you make a terrible 4-hour-long Justice League movie just to redo it and still have people hate it.
And the whole storyline about that is Batman from one of the Dark Multiverses becomes the Joker. So he becomes the Batman who laughs. And he gathers all the other Batmen from the different Dark Multiverses and invades the normal multiverse.
Oh, okay.
And things go
I
crazy.
kind of wondered how that was going to work because it seems a little too disruptive to have on your main comic line series, but having it just be simply the multiverse makes a little bit more sense because probably some worlds get invaded and some don't, right?
Yeah, he's invading all the worlds. He goes from one to another.
Right, but
so it becomes a whole multiverse wide event.
yeah.
It actually leads into their new kind of soft reboot somewhat, like what happened afterwards.
Okay. Boom had that look like he had not actually pressed the record button after we got back.
No, I made the mistake of looking at Facebook.
Oh. Don't do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
But yeah, so it leads to that, and then they go to the, I believe, there's Future State that happens right on after that, which is all technology advanced, and then Final Frontier, or Future Frontier, which is the aftermath, I believe. And yeah, I just haven't really dived into DC yet.
Yeah,
because I don't know where to start, and I don't want to read a couple thousand comics just to catch up.
and I understand that with that because I tried just reading, and I don't even remember which one, a run of X-Men.
Oh, Marvel's even worse because I don't think they've actually done a reboot.
Well, the problem with it is there was gaps in the story because at certain points you had to break off from that and read a bunch of issues of Avengers, read a bunch of issues of Fantastic Four just to come back to this one spot, and it was like, why?
Yeah, that's my problem with trying to read the more mainstream comics.
Yeah.
Because they get so sporadic that if you weren't there from the start, you had to look up 5 different reads.
That's that one case where I don't mind let's take a comic book series. It's just a classic, like Conan the Barbarian. So they will do their run of it, and that will be it. And then they'll reboot it, and it will be the same story, but there'll be different adventures throughout the story.
Yeah, and they'll also just continue, but it's not under the same Conan
thing.
number 1 through.
Right, it might
It's
be
this story arc.
Here was an arc where he went to some land and fought a wizard or something, and it's like it's episodic enough that you don't need to read a bunch of stuff because you know who Conan the Barbarian is.
That's why with like a lot of like DC comic books, because I kind of like the more DC than Marvel. I've said that before on these podcasts. Just because it Marvel is really good. I know a lot of people like it. I don't like how a lot of it is really scientifically explained. Like it's a really good tool to use, but for me, I don't really like it. I kind of like the more supernatural side of like DC, where like the Flash is like a whole different Flash force, the Speed Force. Then you actually have like actual magic.
Yeah,
And
like
stuff.
some of the characters are the embodiment of, oh, this is why this exists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or like you have John Constantine, which is just
John
magic.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I think we're done now.
Yeah, you got me talking about comic
Well,
books.
we're about an hour and a half in. So,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, I looked at my phone like I thought the break time and it said 5:30.
Yeah.
And it's 7.
Currently 7 o'clock.
So yeah, we hope that you enjoyed listening to that podcast episode. It's kind of just like a relaxing, kind of random episode to do.
Super episode.
Probably put something similar to like lo-fi beat behind it and just let people relax to it.
That sounds good.
But yeah, we will be proud. Wait, I don't know how the schedule is gonna work. We might miss an episode for the holidays. We might not.
I believe our next recording day
Would be on New Year's.
would be the day before New Year's Eve or New Year's Eve.
Right. So we
So
might.
there
skip an
definitely won't be another episode out until next year.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll
Yeah.
see where it lands. I
But
don't
yeah.
have a calendar in front of me.
We hope you have happy holidays, and yeah, if you want to get in contact with the podcast, you can get in contact us through Twitter at BehindYouPod. You can email us through BehindYouCast@gmail.com, and there you can send us stories or articles that you want us to look at,
Or just say hi.
or just say hi.
All right, yeah. Send us funny gifts.
Yep. And like always, you can tell a friend about this podcast. You can also write a review on the internet about this podcast. That'd be great as well. And yeah, Ramen Cat, where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitter at RamenCat13.
Awesome. And Wolf, where can they find you?
On our Twitter, I believe you already said the name right.
Yep, Behind You Pod.
Yep.
And you can find me at SirBoom9. You can also find me on another podcast called Baka Talk, where I talk with some more friends about anime and manga.
Yep.
All right, well, with that, we hope you have a great night, a great day, great morning, because time is an enigma, and we'll see you all later.
See ya.
Have a good new year.
Right? And remember, look behind you, because you never know when the year will just pop up right behind you.
Yeah. There it is.
2022.
Oh my gosh.
See you guys later.
It is 2022.